Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you just can't figure out a good routine with you or your family? If so, keep watching this video. Hi, I'm Dr. Sophie Mills from Op Family Chiropractic here in St. Francis, Minnesota. Today, we're going to be talking about how to clean up your family's routines. So that could mean a lot of different things. There's a routine for basically every single thing you have to do in your life, right? Whether you're single and it's just you or whether you have 20 kids. There still are a lot of routines that need to be established. So a really good place to start when thinking about cleaning up your routines is to have a system in place. So to some people that might feel really rigid and might feel really consuming or overwhelming, but systems are made in order to keep us on track, right? So you can have flexibility within a system, but still have something established so that things aren't just out of control. So a really good thing to talk about is schedules. There's a lot of really great apps. There are so many resources on the internet to use and find that really work for you personally. Everyone's a little differently. I personally like to write things down physically, but I know people who are like, I need it all on my phone. So depending on your situation, figure out what works best for you. And that also helps us to make decisions that are actually best for our family or ourselves consistently, rather than feeling overwhelmed by a decision and then just choosing the easier or more comfortable decision. So talking about food, let's move into that. It's really good to think about meal planning ahead for your family. That way we can actually eat whole, nourishing foods that will nourish us, right? And that'll support us and sustain our busy lives. So for me personally, it's just me. I like to meal prep either Saturday or Sunday, and I make my schedule for the whole week. Like I said, there's still flexibility, but I plan it out so that I know what I'm going to get. If not, I have a way bigger grocery bill and things that I don't end up using or don't work into a meal. For you bigger families, that allows you also to bake or make food in bigger quantities when you're meal prepping, and then eat leftovers throughout the week, so you aren't having to come up with 20 different meals. That also helps, like I said, the budget stay on track. The next thing I want to talk about is intentional family time. So if I asked any family, you'd probably say, yes, this is a priority for us. But most families don't actually set aside a time to have intentional family time. It's kind of one of those things where you assume you'll always see each other and it'll happen naturally, so we don't need to worry about it. But often we find that everything else gets precedence, and then that just happens whenever possible, which might not end up being that much during the week. So within your schedule, your system, make sure you plan for that, whether that's an hour before bed where everyone hangs out, or having intentional family dinner every single night of the week. Something that's non-negotiable that you'll make sure will happen and you'll all be the better for it. The next thing I want to talk about is moving daily. So whether you sit at a desk all day or whether you are up moving around for your job or even your kids at school, we can feel exhausted at the end of the day, whether you walk 2 steps or 20,000 steps, right? Because energy is still being expended. So in order to be really intentional with that, it takes a little planning, right? This can be a good way to get your family time in with the movement. That way you are basically knocking off 2 things at one time, right? So take your family rollerblading or ice skating in the winter, or even just a dance party inside. Anything is better than nothing. I actually saw a really interesting study recently about the amount of movement that kids need for optimal development, which was kind of surprising to me just how advanced it was. But for a baby, it would be at least 90 minutes of tummy time a day. For toddlers and preschoolers, it would be 5 to 8 hours of big play time, so running and jumping. And for elementary age kids, it would be at least 4 to 5 hours. And then for adolescents, it would be at least 3 to 4 hours, which feels like a lot maybe to some of you. So start with just trying to get an hour in and build up as you can. The next thing, obviously, I'll talk about is chiropractic care. There's a lot of ways to take care of your health, but chiropractic adjustments are a great way to keep everyone's emotional, mental, and physical bodies functioning well, keep moods happier and better, keep immune systems stronger, and then for either the parents or the kids, physically able to move and do what you need to do throughout your day. Lastly, I just want to encourage you that if this feels overwhelming, take one step at a time. Like I said, there's lots of areas where things can be cleaned up. So say maybe like April, that's going to be the month we really focus on food and establish that pattern. May could be for movement. June could be household cleaning supplies, things like that. Take it one step at a time, have grace with yourself, but know that you can do it and you're not alone.